as I'm driving up Serrano Parkway, a little history on the subdivision of Serrano, which is actually not one subdivision, but it's specifically a specific plan. Anyway, so it's a specific plan with the county, which means that once the whole subdivision was approved, all the builders and their individual subdivisions had to go ahead once their final maps were done. And you know, one other interesting fact is in El Dorado County, there's a building restriction against building on the top of a hill line. So meaning that when you look across the hills, you're supposed to see the hills, not the top of roof lines. And as we know, as anybody who has driven up Serrano Parkway, we don't see that in Serrano, right? Specifically like on Sousa and that area. So what actually happened is the county made a mistake, and they approved those lots. Again, they made a mistake, and they approved those lots to be built on right on the hill line, which is against the restrictions. But the builder, no, not that they were at fault at all. They went ahead and built those houses. But in Serrano, those will be the last houses that you see. As you look across the hills, you will not see any other roof lines, only in Serrano. So, interesting kind of fact. I'm sure that when they walked out of, I'm sure when the builder walked out of the building department that day and they got approval, they went very, very quickly to put in those foundations. I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm sure that they did, because they're beautiful homes, and being on the top of the hill is just fantastic. I've been in numerous one of those homes, and I'm sure lots of you have had listings up there, and they really are spectacular, and being right on the hill is really great. So anyway, that's how that happened. And also, while we're talking about some building restrictions, is I'm sure most of you know that there are oak tree canopy restrictions, meaning that the county actually surveys or scans the area for oak tree coverage. And if you are selling, let's say you're selling a home on a large lot and nothing is done in the backyard except for there's a beautiful big oak tree right in the middle, and your clients want to put a pool in. And now you don't usually think anything about that in normal counties, except for in El Dorado County. Think about that, because they will not allow that oak tree to be cut down. And there's lots of technical parts of it, and if you want more information, I will pass that on for you. But I'm telling you, it's a pretty big deal if people go into lots and start cutting down what's called the oak tree canopy. And there's some mitigation that clients can do, planting trees on other places in El Dorado County, but just be really, really careful to advise your clients if they're planning on putting a pool right in the middle of a yard with a big oak tree. Might want to check out that. So, I'm here at the top of Serrano, and there's a light. Not a stop sign anymore, so we have really progressed up here. And I'm going to pull over and talk a little bit about what's going on up here, but it is pretty cool. There's an actual road that goes right across Serrano Parkway, and now we're in the new area. So I'm going to pull over very carefully. See you in a minute.